Alright, so now we're on page 131 of our workbook, and we're looking at problem number 3. So number 3, it says, suppose the family with a credit card in the previous example decides to pay off the credit card in 2 years. If there's no further charges of card, we want to find out what is the annual interest rate, B, how much they pay per month, and then C, we're going to find the total interest the family will be paying during those 2 years. So, remember previously in example 2, we had a monthly interest rate of 2.5%, and the balance due from part C was the $7,209.12. So let's copy it down to this problem. I'm going to note here P is $7,209.12. And then for our annual interest rate, we're going to have to take that 2.5%, because that was a monthly interest rate, and we're going to have to multiply it by 12. So if you do that on your calculator, that will give you an annual interest rate of 30%. And now if you're paying this off and you're not incurring any more charges, then this becomes really a lot like a fixed installment loan. So on our formula sheet, we're going to be using our fixed installment loan formula. So I'm going to copy down the formula sheet, formula from the formula sheet, I should say. So our principal is $7,209.12. Our interest rate here is going to be 0.3. We're just writing that 30% as a decimal. We're doing this payment per month, so N would be 12. And let's see, we're going to try to pay it off in 2 years, so T would be 2. So we're going to go and plug all these numbers into our formula. So I'm going to put in that 0.3 for R. And here is 12. And T is 2. Alright, so let's go ahead and calculate this. So I'm going to do my fraction key, 7209.12, parentheses, fraction, 0.30 over 12, close parentheses. And then we're going to do parentheses 1, subtract, parentheses, 1 plus fraction key, 0.30 over 12. You can just put 0.3. You don't have to put the 0 there. Caret key, negative 12, parentheses 2, close parentheses, down arrow, close it out. So that would give us $403.08 if we round that off. and you might want to pay $403.09. Make sure it gets paid off in that time. But let's just go with that as the payment. So part C says how much total interest will the family pay during those 2 years? We take the monthly payment, we're going to multiply it by 12 and then by 2. And that gives you $9,673.92 is what you are paying back. And then the principal at this point was $7,209.12. So we're going to subtract that off. So the amount of interest would be $2,464.80. And that's how much you'd be paying in interest. Of course, that does not include the interest that was paid previously. That's just from at this point where they decided to stop using credit cards and to pay the thing off. So let's go back to our handout and let's talk about some pros and cons to credit cards. Credit cards are considered a high-risk item and therefore carry a very high interest rate. With paying the balance off by the due date every month, the consumer does not pay interest. But carrying a balance or getting a cash advance, the consumer will pay interest. Since the interest rate is so high and the penalties for not paying in time are so steep, the balance of credit can quickly mushroom out of control. So there are some advantages to using a credit card. A person can get an item now and pay for it later. No interest charge if you pay the balance off every month and do not get a cash advance. It is easier to dispute a charge on a credit card. Makes it easier to shop online or over the phone. Renting a car or hotel is difficult to do without a credit card, though that's actually getting easier now. More and more places are taking debit cards. No need to carry large amounts of cash. In fact, you never want to carry large amounts of cash. That's a whole nother discussion. May have some benefits like earning free miles on airfare. And then there are a bunch of disadvantages. The interest rates are high on unpaid balances. The rates will rise even higher if a cardholder is late or misses a payment. Huge fees on things like paying late, going over the credit limit, and getting cash advance. In fact, almost 40% of the profits from credit card companies come from fees alone. So just think about that. Can variously lead to overspending, especially if a person does not keep track of what he or she is buying. Credit companies make it very easy to stay in debt longer by allowing the holder to pay the minimum payments. Over 10% of the credit card holders pay only the minimum payments, which means they pay more in interest and take longer to pay off the balance. Credit cards provide a false sense of security. People tend to view the credit limit as an asset rather when it actually is a debt. Studies have shown that people will spend more money using credit cards versus using cash. Also encourages impulse spending. Why do you think vending machines all have credit card readers on them? They come with universal default, meaning if a person makes a financial mistake anywhere, that shows up on his or her credit report, they can raise the rates and fees on the card. In short, credit card companies can raise the interest rate and fees at any time for any reason. And these are the 10 warning signs of credit card trouble. You could also title this as that the sins of Mr. H. A person uses credit cards to meet a basic needs. I've been there, done that. A person charges more on the credit card than she or she can pay. Yes, I've done that. A person can make only the minimum payments on his or her credit cards. Yeah, I've done that. A person starts falling behind on payments or skips paying one credit card in order to pay the other. Yep. Person transfers the balance from one credit card to another to avoid making a credit card payment. Yeah, I've done that. A person avoids ignoring credit card statements. Yeah, putting them in the drawer really didn't work very well. A person has accounts that are past due. Yep. A person has credit cards that are maxed out. Yeah. A person is trying to increase the credit limit on his or her credits. A person is trying to increase the credit limit on his or her credit cards, or hoping for another credit card application to arrive in the mail. And a person is constantly thinking and stressing about financial problems. Now, debit cards do differ from credit cards, and they are linked to a checking or savings account. When a person uses a debit card, money is drafted from his or her checking or savings account. There's no charge for getting cash out from the card's ATM machine. The major drawback of debit cards is that the purchase will not go through if a person does not have enough money in the account to pay for the item, unless the person has overdraft protection for his or her account. And then you have to pay an overdraft fee, which you kind of get back in the same mess. In that case, the person is hit with a fee every time a purchase is made, that when there is not enough in the account. Now, last thing we need to talk about is understanding credit report and credit score. A credit report is a record of a person's credit history. Credit reports are important since lenders, employers, insurance, and others use credit reports to determine how well a person manages financial responsibilities. A credit report will contain the following items: identifying information including name, current address, social security number, date of birth, former residencies, and current employer. Record of credit accounts including all open and closed accounts, balances, payment history, defaults, late payments, and so forth. Public records including judgments, liens, and bankruptcies. Collection agency account information including information on unpaid accounts turned over to collection agencies. And inquiries including companies that have asked for a person's credit report since that person has applied for credit. Equifax, Expedia, and TransUnion are three major credit bureaus that collect credit card information and other credit information and provide these reports to lenders, insurers, employers, and others upon request. Now, a person can also request a copy of his or her credit report free at www.annualcreditreport.com. The bureaus will use a person's information to calculate a credit score, or a FICO score, which measures a person's creditworthiness. The score ranges from 300 bad to 850. So if your score is between 729 and 850, that's very good to excellent. Best interest rates on loans. 650 to 719 is good, likely to get credit, but a higher interest rate on loans. 630 to 649 is fair, may get credit, but only at a higher rate. 580 to 629 it's pure, likely to be denied credit by a high interest lender. And 30 to 579, that's bad, likely to be denied credit.